Today, I am going to share a story about how we turned a $100 knife into a $35,000 electrical project and how you can use this exact same strategy in your own trade business. For those that don't know me, my name is Bayley Peachey from Trade Business Accountants, and we make these videos because our hope is that you make a lot of money from watching them. Let's go. About 3 years ago now, we started working with a company that had been in the industry for really about 30 years, so a whole lifetime's worth of experience, but they'd only just started out in business for themselves, turning for the last 2 years or so. And at the time, they were a smaller operator, so they had about 8 staff, and they were roughly turning that $1 to $1.2 million in sales. And so Troy and I drove up to their office for our first meeting before they'd signed with us, and we were getting the tour of their office and their yard, and just running through everything and really just getting an understanding of what they were looking to achieve from working with us. And one of the directors said to me, he said, "Bayley, we're really good at what we do. We just need a chance to prove it." And so the big focus early on was growth. We needed to create some waves and help them get their name out into the market, much faster than what they were currently doing. They were really good at their work, but they just weren't sure how to grow the company at the pace that they wanted to. So this is really where we focus. And over the next 2 years from that point, they were able to grow from roughly that $1.2 million mark all the way through to $10 million a year in annual turnover, more than triple their workforce, and even open a second depot. And don't get me wrong, a lot went into them being able to achieve those results. But today, I want to talk about one of the more creative marketing strategies that we use really early on to start getting that momentum, because I think there are some great takeaways from it, which brings me to the knife. A really powerful tool that we can use in business is strategic gift giving. In this instance, we built a hit list of all of the existing referral sources at the time. So that's all the key clients like civil companies, design consultants, engineers, including the ones that barely gave them any work, but had the potential to give them a lot more as they tried to expand their market share. And we started researching the decision makers that our client was dealing with. So sometimes it was a project manager, sometimes it was the director, and sometimes, it was other key staff. But we built a list of all of these people, and we started documenting what we knew about them from what our clients already knew, and then what we could find from sites like Google, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Facebook is great for being able to find a lot of information about people. And then what we did was come up with a thoughtful and personalized gift to send to each of these people with a small handwritten note for context. And one of these gifts was a Japanese blue steel kitchen knife made from one of Japan's top knife manufacturers that had been making these knives, these stainless steel blades, for over 110 years. And to top it off, they literally compare these blades to that of samurai quality. And now what we did with this knife is have one side of the blade engraved with handcrafted exclusively for James. Attached to the bamboo box that the knife went in was a short handwritten note that also said, "James, with so much going on in the world right now, we just wanted to reach out and say thanks for the opportunity to work with you. It is always a pleasure. Take care and stay safe." And then what we did was express ship that straight to the target's office. Now, the week that this package arrived, our clients received a phone call from James saying that, "Hey, in all the years that I've been in business, I have never received anything like this," and that he visited Japan a couple of years ago and he fell in love with Japanese steel. And he said to our client, he said, "It's like you knew," which we did because of our research. And so he was blown away by the random and unexpected gift and the fact that it was so special to him, right? And what's really interesting is that he then said to our client, "From now on, we will not be going to tender. Every single job goes straight to you." And he sent them a $35,000 project later that week. And that's just one result from all of the people that we targeted in that first round. So a really cool result. And I'll break down why this worked the way it did. So in business, more often than not, people do not get recognized and they do not get celebrated. So one of the greatest things that you can actually do is to make your clients feel special, make them feel celebrated, and make them understand that you highly value your relationship with them. Even if it's just a short handwritten note saying thank you for being awarded a job, it's these thoughtful actions that people often overlook that will allow you to stand out from the crowd. So I want you to think about your own company right now. I want you to think about the clients that are most important to your bottom line. What is their true value to your business, to your livelihood, right? What's it worth to you to have these relationships? Your clients are the only people who are going to pay you, so they have an enormous amount of value. But how often do you show that you appreciate them? All of the little touches that go into maintaining these relationships matter, right down to a simple handwritten note, because these aren't little things, they're everything, right? You cannot ever take clients for granted, because if you make someone feel celebrated and special and feel important, and remind them that you actually care about them and that you actually value the relationship, then they're likely going to love you forever. And gifts are perfect for this. But here's the thing, in our personal lives, we are great at giving amazing gifts that all of our friends and family are going to cherish, they're going to love them. But for some reason, and I do not understand this, but everything that we know about giving a great gift gets thrown out the window the second it comes to business. Most corporate gifting is bland, it's unthoughtful, it's never personalized, it's incredibly generic. So things like gift cards, alcohol, or your own company merch, that sort of stuff, that for the most part is going to be forgotten about pretty quickly. Instead, what you want to do is you want to gift with impact. Because I don't care what anybody tries to tell you, it is not the thought that counts. It is the thoughtful gift that counts. You want to make a lasting impression, because if you nail this, then the relationships that you're going to be able to build and strengthen and cement is going to allow you to build a moat around your business. And this is really important because no marketing strategy or no marketing hack will ever outperform a powerful network. Relationships are really just the keystone to success in business. And so if you are not actively trying to grow and strengthen your own network, then you're going to be falling behind the person that does, the person that makes this a priority. Don't just build a moat around your business. Make sure that you actually dig the thing, fill it with water, and then widen it, right? So how do you do this? Well, step one is to simply just list out all of your key clients. Look at your current client base and list out all of the clients that are the most important and valuable to your bottom line. Once you've done that, then you also want to list any clients that have potential to give you a lot more work moving forward too. So not just the key clients, people that, you kind of do a little bit of work for, that have, a lot more opportunity for you to take on more work from them if the relationship was stronger. These are the people that you want to target. Then step two is to do your homework. So you want to do some background searches on your target and try to learn a little bit more about them, right? So stalk their personal social media accounts, look for things that they like, they don't like, their interests and all that sort of stuff, because this is going to allow you to give a better and really just more appropriate gift. And the more that you know here, the easier this strategy actually is. But if you do struggle here, don't worry too much, because I do have some great examples I can give you in a moment that will work for anybody if you are struggling to find anything super personalized about them. Which brings me then to step three, which is actually choosing the gift. Starting with what not to do. So never use corporate gifts. Don't just be that person that sends the keychains or the bottles of wine covered in your branding, because if it has your branding on it, then it's company merchandise. It is not a gift. And that is so important to understand. If you were trying to, show appreciation for a key client and show that you genuinely value their relationship, don't give them merchandise. If it has your logo on it, it is company merchandise. It is not a thoughtful, personalized gift. I cannot stress that enough. The next thing to consider is that you want to personalize the gift to them. So this is what I was talking about finding out their interests. So one of the greatest sins in gift giving is not personalizing the gift to the recipient, right? So when you don't personalize the gift, you're really just making someone feel like they're one of a million and not one in a million. So you want to personalize the gift, put the spotlight on them, and show them how much you value the relationship. Really, really important here. Next, you can think about including their inner circle. So if you can include their family, their management team, or their assistants when choosing the gift, because these people tend to be the most forgotten, but this is where the greatest opportunity is to make a big impact. So you do need to be careful with this one. You don't want to cross any lines, but it is something that you can factor in and consider. Next, you want to be best in class. So you absolutely do not have to have the most expensive gift, but you just want to put some thought into it, because it is not the gift that counts. It is a thoughtful gift that counts. Again, I have to put that in there again, because if you have a thoughtful gift that is best in class, not the most expensive, it's going to set you apart massively from everybody else. So again, really just showcasing how much you value that relationship. And then kind of tying into this point, it needs to be unique, right? A bottle of wine or a box of chocolates, it's not going to set you apart. It's very generic, because everybody else around you is going to be sending the exact same thing. So what you want to do is make the gift personal, make it memorable, and make it unique, because we're trying to achieve that lasting impression status. The next thing you want to consider is that it needs to be practical. Any good gift is practical. So people own a lot of stuff these days, and we tend to appreciate gifts that don't just add to the clutter. So you really want to think about choosing a gift that is practical, something that's going to be used and enjoyed often, instead of just, another hassle in someone's life, or something that's just going to collect dust with all the other crap that they have, or worse, end up in the bin the second you give it to them. Moving on, you also want to make it visible. So again, tying back into it being used. So a good gift shouldn't be used once or twice a year. This is something that must be visible all of the time, so that the client is really just being constantly reminded of you, because you gave them that gift, right? So this is really critical for staying top of mind. And now something that's going to be used regularly and not just sitting on the shelf collecting dust has to have longevity, right? You can take people out for really expensive dinners that end with a $1,500 bill, or take them to some fancy event, but outside of being thanked for that night, you might not ever hear about it again. And now the other option is to send someone a thoughtful, uniquely personalized gift that might cost you $200, and 10 years later, still have them thanking you for it. This is about choosing a gift that will serve as an artifact for the relationship. These are the kind of considerations that you want to be thinking about when you're trying to pull off this strategy. Those are the 6 rules that I want you to follow when choosing a gift. And now some examples of good go-to gifts that I've used in the past. So I've deployed this strategy with clients and with their own company, many times over the years now. So I've sort of just tested and measured what works or what really has a good result across the board, so without having to be too specific. The first one being Japanese knives. So the company I go through is really good for that, but essentially just a really high quality kitchen knife with the engraving that I mentioned. So handcrafted exclusively for Tom, James, Susan, Stacy, whoever, right? These are fantastic. Another great go-to gift are Yeti mugs. So Yeti mugs with the Target's name engraved on them. So not your company logo engraved. A lot of people come to me and go, oh, I found these great Yeti mugs. They're $40. They're amazing. High quality product. People use them every single day, whether it be a hot coffee or a cold drink or whiskey, whatever. But they put their own company name on it, or they put their own company logo. Guys, that is merchandise. Again, personalized. Just simplify it. Say if someone was going after me and they send me a Yeti mug, they put Bayley on it, my name, that's something I'm actually going to love and enjoy. That's what you do if you're a family member or a friend. You wouldn't give your family member or your friend a mug with your company name on it, or at least that's, again, not the greatest gift at Christmas time. You'd put their name on it, right? So it's no different here in a corporate sense. That's the key differentiation here, making it unique and personalized to them. And that's something so practical that people are going to use every single day. So again, 40 or so bucks, $10 to get it engraved. You cannot go wrong with that one. And aside from that, I've sent custom fishing jerseys for people and the kids. So I get the photo back with, the dad that I've gone after or that I work with or whoever it is with their son enjoying fishing or daughter or whatever. They're an awesome gift as well. Personalized leather bags, custom sports jerseys, engraved Leathermans, personalized AFL balls, basically anything that's considered valuable to the target, especially based off your research, that is going to be used, that you can personalize to them, is an absolute winner of a gift. I know a bloke that runs a pretty good sized building company doing about $30 million a year, and he's obsessed with golf, right? And he had a concreter that really wanted to be on his projects that tried, calling and dropping in, but they could never get past the gatekeepers. So he was never able to meet this guy. But one day he rocked up to the office and he finds a small and mysterious package sitting on his desk. It has his name on it, and it just says, private and confidential. So the gatekeeper hasn't opened it. So he opens it up and it's 12 really high quality golf balls with not only his name, but also his company's logo etched into each golf ball. And if you want to get someone's attention, that's a good way to do it, because the first thing that he did was speak with one of his project managers and he asked if they were using him. And the project manager said no. And so he says, all right, start using him. And it just goes to show that if you want to do well in business, you need to go against the grain and you need to do things differently to what everybody else around you is doing, right? Because that's how you're going to stand out. That's how you're going to get attention, and that's how you're going to win. And that's going in cold, trying to win over a new client, right? So the right gift can be an absolute game changer with your existing clients because that relationship has already been built. So again, just a really powerful way to strengthen your network. And now once you've got the right gift sorted, what you then want to do is write a handwritten note. And this is where you're either going to make or break the strategy, because the context around the gift needs to be clear and really just in a way that it doesn't make it feel like a bribe and it doesn't feel like something that isn't genuine. This is really important. And so what you want is a very simple, personalized handwritten note to accompany the gift. Don't overthink it and don't overdo it, because if you mess up the context, you can not only mess up the gift or the whole strategy, you can actually mess up the relationship. So you want to be careful here. A really great way to do this is to actually send something after you receive a testimonial from your key clients, literally just thanking them for the review. Now, some other key rules to this strategy is that you want to have what I call planned randomness. So while it's completely planned on our end, it appears to be so random and out of the blue for your client. So again, super strategic on our end. We're mapping out the whole campaign. We're doing our research. We're picking selective guests, but it has to be, random for the person receiving it. So this means avoiding any holidays at all costs. Don't send this type of gift at Christmas. Don't send it at Easter. Don't do it on birthdays, all that kind of jazz, right? Because people are going to be expecting it. So what that means is the gift is going to lose its impact. When it comes to these kind of events, just send something generic at those times. Send the strategic gift at a completely unexpected time, because that's when you're going to get the best response, and that's when you're going to have that lasting impression that you want. The second thing is to avoid giving the gift to them in person. It's awkward for you. It's really awkward for them. It just ruins the context of the whole thing. I would just mail it straight to their workplace. I've made that mistake in the past. It was just super uncomfortable. And so I'm trying to give you that lesson without the scar. Leave the scar for me. Just trust me on that. And on that note too, also don't follow up. And this is a really interesting thing, because you think, oh, naturally, I want to see if they got it. I want to see what their thoughts were. I put a lot of effort into this. It was really thoughtful. I want to know what they think. But this is the important part. Don't ring. Don't text. Don't email. Just send it and literally forget you ever did it, which ties into the last rule here. Gift without expectation. I want you to genuinely send this as a way of showing your appreciation, that you value the relationship. So don't just gift someone with the plan to hold it over them or pressure them into favoring you with upcoming work, because that's not how this strategy works. Sure, the goal is to show appreciation and strengthen the relationship, and oftentimes that does result in favorable outcomes, whether it be more work or whatever coming your way. But this is how you have to approach it. You can't go in with that expectation. You have to just genuinely show appreciation for the client. That's the whole point of this. That's how it's done. And so to recap, the right gift has amazing potential to spark any company's growth. And if you have a great service, treat your clients like gold and give them cool things that they're going to use around their friends, their family, their circles of influence, and you'll have an unbelievable amount of goodwill in the marketplace. This is all about chess, not checkers, that long-term strategic plan, right? You want to have a great company that's in this for the long haul. Relationships are a key to that happening. So instead of people thinking, hey, thanks so much for this $5 stubby cooler that I'm probably never going to use, give them a gift that makes them think, hey, I love this thing. It's been beautifully engraved with my name on it, and I'm going to use this every single day. This thing is just awesome, right? Symbolize your key relationships and never get complacent in showcasing just how much that you value the people that hire your services. Every little detail matters, even down to that short handwritten note. Right? So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've got a lot of good ideas and key takeaways from it, because we've had some fantastic results with this strategy in our own business and with a lot of our clients' businesses. So if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.